we're in TripActions. This company redefines growth, redefines corporate travel. How early on did you notice that there's something going on here?
Well, I joined TripActions before Seed. I joined when there was, literally I met with Ilan and Ariel at the introduction of Orange Zev, by the way. I should be thankful to him for that. Back in 2000, at the end of 2015, at Venetia Cafe, we just grabbed coffee together. There was no presentation. There was nothing. I was like, I'm in.
Really?
Just count me in. Yeah.
How'd you know?
Just had a good feeling about the founders. I mean, it's so early in the game. You know the market is huge. You know it's ripe for disruption. I hated Concur. Coming from banking, actually, I used to work for Deutsche Bank.
Okay.
And we used Concur. That's sorry for
the kids
cut it off.
it.
Whatever. But beep. You know, American Express, Concur, Agencia. I mean, the market is ripe for disruption. I thought it's up for the taking. Those were two talented entrepreneurs, go-getters, had great success in the past. Sold their last company to Drive. I thought that's a really cool bet to make. That was years ago. $30 million later, because I've invested in TripActions today, slightly more than $31 million today.
Wow.
And we're now, after Andreessen, invested hundreds of millions of dollars into the company in the last couple of rounds. We're now the fourth largest investor in the company. So they dethroned me. They dethroned me.
Good person to be dethroned by.
From the third place.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting? Forget about the money. Forget about my involvement. We're super involved. We're a super large investor in the company. What is the future of TripActions, and why is TripActions so important in my opinion?
And how big is it going to get?
So it's not only a category-defining company disrupting a $1.5 trillion global travel market. TripActions is going to be, and mark my words, now it's on camera, so actually you'll remember as well in a few years from now, one of the most important software companies in the world, period. Period ever. And what's the market potential, if you're asking me? Bookings.com is worth today around $92 billion. I think the TripActions can surpass their valuation. I think TripActions will be worth potentially hundreds of billions of dollars.
Let me just repeat that. We're talking about a company that, according to one of their biggest investors, one of their first investors, the first investor,
yeah,
first money in,
along with a few other people, but
right.
Yes.
We're talking about a company that has the potential, and again, looking at the actual growth, it's not too far off to imagine hundreds of billions with a B dollars. All right, I'm going to wait and watch as a fanboy on the side. And
I can tell you something, as an active investor, yep. So it's not just about money, right? Because I think founders, investing is one thing. Sitting on a board and making a wise comment once in a while is another thing, fine. But truthfully, the ways that you can add value as an investor into a company, there are three ways really that matter. Bottom line, introduce them to clients, introduce them to strategic partnerships. Number two, introduce them to key employees, C-suite level executives, right?
Talent.
Number three, introduce them to other investors who can join the ride when it's difficult, not when it's easy.
Yep.
Okay?
100%.
And for me, TripActions is not just a beautiful logo worth multi-billion dollars, right? It's a company I've been involved with from day one, adding value to them and continuing to add value to them, and I will work my hardest. Group 11 will work, me and my team will work our hardest to make sure that TripActions becomes the mega unicorn it ought to become, what we call a multi-decacorn in the making.
Unbelievable.
Welcome to TripActions.
Okay, we are starting day 2 of this tech tour with Group 11, and I'm kind of speechless. Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Nick Drumright. I'm the VP of Product at TripActions.
So you know what? Let's jump right in. Give me your 30-second elevator pitch on your background before you came here to be VP Product of TripActions, probably the fastest growing business B2B company in the world, maybe?
Yep.
What's your background?
I grew up in California, went to Georgetown. I then did Teach for America for 5 years, which is a pretty non-traditional background. I then went to Uber and did a variety of roles, launching products. I worked in India, Uber for a quarter, which was—
You lived there?
Yes, which was extremely exciting. Because it's, you take products and you see how they succeed and exist in your home market, and then seeing like the challenges as your product hits the operations of other cultures. And then I transitioned over to TripActions, met Ariel and Elon, and it's been off to the races.
Okay, so just for a little context, just in case someone's watching and they are not familiar with TripActions, and we're gonna jump in a minute, but just give me like the high level, what is TripActions, why is it so important and significant, and then give me a little bit of context on the hyper growth doesn't begin to cut it.
Yep.
Expand the growth of this company, and you're a leading product, so you're maybe the most important person in this building. What is a differentiator? What is TripActions? How do you explain this growth? Talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge team supporting the TripActions growth.
All great people say that, by the way.
No.
All great people don't want to take credit for themselves.
TripActions is an end-to-end corporate travel solution.
Right.
And you may think corporate travel and be like, oh, that's, you know, like some product that you know, is in every company. But the reality is it defines and shows how you think about your culture, how you think about treating people, how you think about trust.
Just want to, you know, address for 1 second the potential here. How big is the market, corporate travel market, globally?
1.5 trillion.
With a T?
Yes.
$1.5 trillion. I mean, I'm talking to companies that are talking about, oh, we have a potential market of 60 billion. You're like, wow, that's super important. $1.5 trillion. Incredible, mind blown. What makes TripActions unique?
I think experience does. So if you think about, you know, high growth enterprise sales team, if you think about executives, if you think about BD, right, all of these groups of people that are constantly on the road, looking after your company, growing your company, fixing problems, how they travel and how you care about them when they are on the road really matters. And what we're seeing is like, the biggest surprise when I joined was the number one thing that our buyers care about is what is the experience of my travelers? What's the safety of my travelers? What's the care of my travelers? What's the product experience of the travelers? We were talking about this before we got on the video. Like, I think the most brilliant decision that Ariel has ever made as our CEO, is to define our product based upon experience. And it starts with the traveler experience and of course with the travel manager experience, but then it ripples, right? Because we know that if we treat our support agents well, if we invest in the product that our travel agents are using, then they will be able to take care of our travelers, and it's this ecosystem that supports itself.
So I'm going to say it this way. TripActions, to me, why I think this company is so successful, is because you've disproved, I think, an assumption that many people make in business, which is you need to decide between two conflicting principles. Something like experience, which is quote unquote not scalable, and growth and expansion and scalability. You guys have said no, you can actually take care of your customers, give them a superb experience, and scale it.
Yeah, how I like to think about how we're running our business day to day is we obviously have massive growth targets. We're expanding very quickly globally, but how we move and how we make decisions is based upon protecting and enriching the experience. And the experience could be that of a support agent, it could be that of a traveler, it could be that of a travel manager. It's that of our employees, right? We're the ones supporting this foundation. But it's like, it was a brilliant like product decision that Ariel made probably, what, 4.5 years ago, but then it's become, you know, really the cornerstone of our culture and our business strategy.
The experience of travel, like,
is inherently human.
Wow, that was really well said.
Yeah,
like
it is.
No, you're 100% right, inherently human, that's what it is. This is the core, the fundamentals of this entire company. It's about the experience.
Yeah, it's how do you scale personalization? How do you scale human touch? And how do you create, you know, systems within the product that really support it and hold us accountable to it? I think, you know, we talked a little bit about experience, but the other, like, I think brilliant decision we've made internally at TripActions, which then crosses over into the traveler experience, the travel manager experience, is that we don't separate our product experience from, you know, the travel agent person that you're chatting into experience. It is one holistic product experience, both like, you know, the mobile app that like you're chatting with someone on, and then also like the service component of it.
Okay, so as the VP product, that's your title, VP product. As the VP product here, walk me through the product flow. Who's your target? How does it work? How does TripActions work?
How does TripActions work? So it begins with a buyer, right? Someone who usually traditionally sits within, you know, the CFO's org that is looking to take care of their travelers on the road, think about duty of care, is interested in savings, etc. And they connect with our sales team. They get launched with TripActions. We generally launch within anywhere to a week to 4 weeks. It's like part of our.
It's fast.
You know, product is differentiator is just the ease to implement TripActions. And then from there, it's on to the races, right? It's, you launch with travelers. We have a drip campaign. You download our mobile app. You start booking. You start chatting. It's not complicated because if, again, like the intent is to create an experience that is seamless, that is easy, that is personalized. So then when you download the TripActions app, you open it, you understand how to use it, right? You shouldn't have to have someone explaining how to use your booking tool. You book personal travel all the time. So like the bar for us is like, not like, let's make a B2B business. It's like, no, let's make a consumer grade travel app.
That is gold, by the way.
And then also meet the needs of our travel managers, our buyers. So we're delivering on savings, on duty of care, on approval flows, etc. But we need to do both equally well.
If you can build a B2B experience, like it's a B2C experience, you win, period.
But yeah, I think there's like three core, I mean, there's probably more, but three core problems within the infrastructure. It's like, are you taking care of my travelers on the road? Are the people I'm responsible, are their needs being met? Are they being taken care of? The next is, you know, can I have insights into my travel spend? And are there, you know, a rewards policy, approval flows, etc., that support my travelers making responsible decisions?
Just one more question. Talk to me about, let's call it, and I know you're VP product, but if we can just address for 1 minute the expansion of this company globally.
Yep.
Like, what's the philosophy here? And you know, I know that Tel Aviv's happening, and like, talk to me about that a little bit.
I mean, you know, there's a need, right? Corporate travel should be fun. It should be easy, and it's not right now. And so our product resonates with a lot of people, and so we are scaling as the desire for our product is expanding. It began with scaling with our customers, but now we realize, you know what? It's time for us to fully expand. Yep.
I love it. Where is TripActions today launched actively? Where?
So we have about 3,000 customers globally. We have offices in Palo Alto, Seattle, New York, Dallas, Amsterdam, London,
Tel Aviv,
Sydney, and then of course we have customers globally, right? So we have customers in India, we have customers in Singapore, all over Europe.
Incredible. I mean, you guys have literally the world's top investors behind you, and the truth is, again, your expansion is unprecedented. I think that's just a fact. I think you're probably the fastest growing, for sure, one of the fastest growing B2B companies in history.
Definitely.
It's unbelievable. Let's forget how much capital has flown into this company and how you know who the investors are. All that stuff is great. At the end of the day, what matters most is what people think of this company,
yes.
Your customers. Talk to me about that. What kind of retention are you seeing? What do people feel? What's the sentiment?
Yeah, so like at the beginning, I shared that I think the most brilliant decision that we've ever made from a strategy perspective is to anchor on experience and take care of all of our users in that manner. And I think the metrics speaks for themselves. So we have 93% traveler satisfaction. We have over 90% company adoption.
That's outrageous.
And then on hotels, we're delivering on average about 34% savings. So it's just across the board. And right, like we're a work in progress, we're gonna get better, we're gonna go faster and go globally, but the metrics speaks for themselves, that experience and anchoring on experience and delivering that works. I got 2 emails from customers today because it's a partnership, right?
So
together with our customers, we want to question how this market has worked. And that requires partnership. These are not people that are buying our product. We are partnering together to create a great experience for our travelers and to further our offering together.
People don't think of travel as a very positive experience, right?
Yeah.
But everyone travels. So if a company can change that right there, which is what you guys are doing, literally, the sky is the limit. Sky,
right.
on words.
And our goal is that, like, you know, you are going to a place because you have a meeting, you have a sales deal, you have a customer, that you have a team, right? Like I have a huge team in Amsterdam. We don't want you thinking about the logistics of travel,
100%.
or whether your flight was canceled or whether your flight was delayed. We want you focused on the meeting. So how do we make that streamlined and seamless?
I love it. Frictionless, seamless, sentiment, retention. These are just a little, you know, scratching the surface of what this company is able to do and is doing. It's really unbelievable, and I really do believe that the magic of this company starts with you as VP product. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to meeting you up in Tel Aviv and buying you coffee.
Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it.